Hello everyone, Bashar here. Valentine's Day is slowly coming, and Valentine's Day fusion has been declared. It is going to start, I think, on Friday, which has been the latest trend, with the Summon Rush, most likely. We also had the fusion warm up pop. So let's take a look at the fusion and her partner. So her A1 is attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance of decreasing the cooldown of random ally skill by 2 turns, except its champion. So it gets buffed up to 50%. Not bad. 2 turns is pretty actually decent. I am going to guess that it's gonna work on a smart basis. So if no one has skills on cooldown, it will actually target the one champion and the one skill that is on cooldown if you have a single skill on cooldown. And I might be a little less vocal than usual. I am a little bit sick. Sorry about that. So if her partner is on the team and the partner is a void champion, so I don't think it's gonna be very easy to obtain. If the partner is on the same team and has skills on cooldown, decreases one of their skills by 2 turns. And if the guy is on, so this wording is very terrible. So what this means is this in addition to, or changes the functionality of the skill. So what I understand from this, if the partner is on the same team, it will reduce the cooldown of a skill by 2 turns with 50% chance. If the partner has a skill on cooldown, it will definitely reduce his. And if the partner is on the same team but has no cooldowns, it will reduce another guy's cooldowns. So I think it's going to work twice. If that is the case, that is pretty good. Shield of Emeria gets down to 3 turn cooldown, removes all debuffs from allies, place a shield buff on them equal to 25% of this champion's max HP. That is always important. If it's the champion in question's HP or individually for each champion, because Georgid, Leoris, those guys are squishy, and 25% of their HP is not very meaningful. But let's say you build Akora with 100k HP, that's going to be a whopping 25k shield, which is going to be great. And if the partner is on the same team, also place a strengthen buff and then fills turn meters of all allies by 10%. Well, 10% I would say is a little bit modest. Yeah. Well, of course, not bad. Let's take a look. Revives a dead ally with 50% HP and 75% turn meter. That's not a bad revive. Resets the cooldowns of the revived ally skills. That is, Anire. And if it's the partner, he actually gets revived with 75% HP, 100% turn meter, which is great. After the revival, decreases enemy turn meters by 10%. And if the revived champion was the partner, she reduces turn meters by 20% and it cannot be resisted, which means she can be built fully without accuracy if the partner is on the same team. And I think even if the partner is not on the same team, she should be built without accuracy, because the only thing that requires accuracy here is the 10% turn meter reduction, which we can let definitely go. Let's take a look at the passive. It gets booked down to 0 turn cooldown, which means it will always work. Whenever an enemy tries to place a true fear, freeze, provoke, sleep, stun, and petrification debuff with the highest crit damage, transfer those debuffs to this champion instead. So, she prevents your Georgid, Narses, whoever it is, your damager from being hard CC'd, which is great. She gets 50% turn meter fill if she misses her turn due to those debuffs, which is also pretty good. So she is losing half a turn instead of a full turn. So that is a little bit counterintuitive. If the partner is on the same team, it just removes those debuffs from her. And she has a 19% speed aura. So it looks like she is very heavily dependent on her partner. She's like a Siphi, right? Siphi is excellent all around, always, right? She doesn't need Rotos on the team. This lady kinda wants her partner to be present, and she has a 19% speed aura, which is not bad. Okay, so let's take a look at the husband. Okay, yeah, I know the camera covers a little bit, but I will read it to you. So this is the HP based Void Nuker, Witch King Narses. Attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance of randomly increase the cooldown of one of target skills by 2 turns. This effect cannot be resisted if White Queen Akora is on the same. That is great. So it gets booked up to 50% again. That is pretty good. 50% chance of increasing the cooldown by 2 turns. Attacks all enemies on a 3-turn cooldown, will ignore 25% of target's defense. Not bad, built-in savage. Place an extra rate on targets under shield or strengthen buffs, which means he is quite heavily PvP based. And the damage is true damage. So for example, this ignores Taras's passive, which is very important. He could one-shot Taras through the passive. This is pretty great. And imagine, you do this, you do the A2, the fusion does A1, clears the cooldown of this, and you do this again. Yeah. Spirits claim you. I think that comma is not necessary. Anyway, attacks one enemy twice. Increase damage inflicted with the skill by 10% for each buff on the target, up to 50%, and for another 10% for each buff on this fella. So 5 buffs on him and 5 buffs on the enemy, so he's gonna do double damage. Yeah, of course 5 buffs is not very easy, but can happen in PvP situations. And if he kills a target under 3 or more buffs, place a block revive. That is pretty good. And if the partner is on the same team, grants an extra turn if it kills an enemy. Yeah, not bad. Okay, let's go. This champion will receive 50% less damage when attacked by enemies, including bosses and their minions, out of their active turn. Which means, like Ice Golem triggering, Taras counter-attacking when you eat Marichka, that sort of stuff, which is not bad. If the partner is on the same team, he just receives no damage instead. You hit Marichka and you don't take any damage. That is pretty good. This effect does not apply against bosses and their minions. So the effect that doesn't apply to the bosses and their minions, I think, is the fully ignoring damage. Right? So he will take 50% less against everyone, and in PvP situations or trash waves, he will just take no damage at all, which is pretty nice. Guys, imagine hitting Cupidus and he retaliates 0 damage. This champion skill will also ignore shield and strength buffs. That is pretty strong, especially if you consider the A2. Ignores 25% defense, places an extra rate on shield and strength, and he also ignores those. Yeah, he could kill, definitely. And he has a 33% HP aura. That is all around. Pretty nice. But the thing is, guys, the question is, of course, how do we obtain this guy? If it's going to be shards only, it's not going to be easy. If they make some special event, we had our share about those. So, as always, go for the fusion, obviously, right? I never condone of skipping fusions. Now that, Synchronos is here, even crap legendaries have meaning. So yeah, I would definitely say go for the fusion. Well, that is my 2 cents about it. I will see you on stream. Bye bye.